So it's day 259 of Hey, what are you doing today? Today to kind of celebrate a little success since I've gotten back on track. I mentioned that I kind of used the holidays to backslide a little bit in hopes that that would catapult me forward, and I think it seems to have worked. At least to this point, it has. After going through the holidays, I stepped on the scale and I was back up to 203, and within, I guess it's just been about 2.5, roughly 3 days, I was at 196 today. So that's good. That shows me that my body has become accustomed to that lower weight, and it shows me that as long as I stay focused, I can do more. And on top of that, it's kind of made me realize how quickly I can break that into that 180s threshold. And I was thinking about it today. I mean, I think 175 is probably really an ideal weight for me. So to think that I'm 20 pounds away from what ideally I really want. I think it'd be interesting to take it down into the high 160s. I can't even imagine if I would have said that to myself, a year ago, that I was going to be at 169. I would have looked like that. That doesn't even sound healthy. And then, it may not be. I mean, that might be too light. But the fact that it's right there. Once I break into the 180s, I'm only 15, 20 pounds away from that at any given time. So it'll be nice. I think it's going to be a big step to get into the 180s. That'll be a weight that I haven't been at since high school. So 189 will be a huge accomplishment. I feel it coming, and it's nice to have that goal out there now, to really kind of have some focus on that, to break through the next plane. I should have broken there a long time ago in this endeavor, I believe, but at the same time, it's a time thing, I think that for me anyway, it feels like it's at this point, this is gradual weight that I need to lose. I need to come to these stepping stone levels. So it's all good. It's all progressing as it naturally should. Oh, lost a train of thought there. There's something else, somewhere else I was going with that, but I just want to comment on that real quick. That's going on. Also, my running became fun again. It hasn't been fun it's been a little bit laborious for the last week or so. I think because of that, because getting out of that element, because feeling, sometimes when I get in that cycle where I'm exercising, but I'm regressing weight wise, or I'm not seeing any progress, the exercise becomes less fun, and as I see progress, then it becomes more fun. So it's nice. I had a nice run this morning, the first one in a while that was actually comfortable and fun and felt good and enjoyable. Two of the things that I do every day is my daily checklist of items to do. One is to study a successful person. And that could be anybody. It doesn't really matter what the measure of their success is, and it's even just as simple as getting online for me and reading a Wikipedia page and kind of seeing what their background is, what they did with their life, and if that inspires more, I'll investigate them a little bit more. But just taking 5 or 10 minutes to read a Wikipedia page on somebody successful just seems to have some kind of a, I guess it's an abstract mentor of sorts. It's seeing what they did to achieve what they did, and it's interesting to see where a lot of their money was made, or what became of them, what their story was, how when they were born, how they lived, those kind of things. And it doesn't have to be a modern age either. It could be any success. I could be looking at at anybody at any given time, but just to kind of have that every day, get hit with somebody that has been successful. What the validity is in that, I don't know, but it seems like there's some validity in it, so I keep pursuing it. The other thing that I picked up, and this was just a couple days ago, I decided to start investigating art a little bit more. Really have no art background whatsoever, and I've never really studied art. Don't know anything about artists, except for some of the vagaries that I think we'll all naturally pick up along the way. But so every day now, I'm I look at a piece of art, and if it catches my eye, I'll investigate the artist. And I had somebody just blow my mind today. I've never really had that happen with art. It was a great experience, and I do that because I think that my goal has evolved into becoming a better person. I believe that my success will come from that. And as being a better person, a more enriched person, a more knowledgeable person, someone with more wisdom, someone with a variety of elements, and just studying art kind of just seemed to open up, kind of free up some doors. And but I came across this guy, never heard of him before, and I don't believe I've ever seen his art, or I've never taken note of his art if I had seen it before, but his name's Rockwell Kent. I want to do a little bit more investigation on him, but it was the first time where I had looked at a piece of artwork, and I was like, wow, that's really amazing. I can't explain why it was amazing to me, but it really hit me on a personal level. Some of his sketches and his paintings, and and it was funny because the first painting that I saw of his was really nothing like some of the other stuff that I came across that really blew my mind. But the first painting was so interesting. I believe it was from 1909, and it looked like a photograph. It was shadows in the snow, a still life, but just a very powerful kind of a still life, and it looked like a photograph, and I was like 1909, and it just, but at the same time I could tell that it was a painting, but it was just some of the colors and some of the shadows were so crystal and so clean. So then I started looking at some of his other artwork, and it was completely different. It almost went into what I would say is kind of an Art Deco kind of feel in terms of the painting. I wonder if he didn't do one of the covers that I've seen on I believe her name was Ayn Rand or Anne Rand. I've heard it pronounced both ways before, and I don't know too much about her. But I was wondering, now that I think about it, I may have seen his artwork on. It looked very similar to something that I'd seen, I believe, on Atlas Shrugged, but I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've looked at her. But it was just really powerful artwork, and I think this is the second or third day that I've started this. I've added that to my element, and it's kind of a nice relaxing point. It's educational, it's spiritual, it's emotional. It kind of incorporates all those things into it, just stopping and taking a second to look at a piece of art, and then if I like it, investigate a little bit more from there. So but just kind of wanted to document that as something that seems to be enriching, and maybe something will come from it in another way. I feel like I'm coming close to an epiphany, and I don't know what that epiphany is, but I feel like I'm getting hit with the same information over and over again, and it's like the same lesson over and over again. I haven't learned the lesson, and what I mean by learn the lesson, I might understand the information that's coming to me, but I'm not living it, and the lesson won't be learned until I can live it, until it becomes just an unconscious action in me, until I break that level. But one thing that this endeavor has done is, as I've looked at myself, I've recognized, it's really brought to froth a lot of my weaknesses that I would have completely overlooked and been completely unaware of had I not stopped and started paying attention to the world around me and the world within me. But I would have never had any idea how negative my world is. It's even 259 days into this, it's one of the largest things that I've been battling is this negative thoughts, negative energy, negative output, and it's just it's so strange. It was such a natural thing to me, and now to have to stand up against it, have to try to turn it around, is just really an interesting battle that's going on. Silly, today I realized, when I see people, I tend to be, well, I don't know how often, but there's a tendency to be negative towards the initial sight of someone, and it's so weird. Where did I pick that up from? Where did that come from? It's like an immediately judgmental, and it's I know that I send out that energy when I know that when I have those negative thoughts, those negative feelings, as soon as I see somebody, that energy is just hits that person. There's no doubt in my mind. And you know, I all my life I've kind of been an isolated loner of sorts. You know, I have some relationships here and there, but nothing too strong, nothing too valid, nothing too, you know, nothing too structured. And I don't know where that came from, or how that, you know, when did I throw up the walls, and when did I when did I start laying the bricks in these walls, and what do I have to do now to tear them down. One of the things that came to my mind today was, you know, as I see somebody, be aware of that judgment, but beyond that, why don't I start seeing everybody as an old friend? Why don't I, you know, as a when I see somebody that I don't know, just immediately kind of flip some psychological trigger in my brain that's a friend, a good friend that I haven't seen in 10 years. I mean, it's such a better way to approach people. I truly believe that. Yesterday, one of the pieces of information that came to me, let's see if I can throw this out there before I lose it. I can feel it kind of on the tip of my tongue, but I think I lost it. But it had to do with kind of the same thought that I was going on. But oh, that's what it was. You know, when you make small talk, why not make meaningful small talk? I mean, why ask somebody about the weather when, you know, you can ask something on a more personal level, and try to bring some personal story, a personal attribute to fruition. I think that there's a stronger sense of humanity, that a stronger sense of bond that will be created in doing that. So it's two practices that I need to do. And, you know, when I see somebody, look upon them as an old friend I haven't seen in 20 years, and you know, maybe even a brother or sister, as simple as that sounds, but really get into that kind of that excitement, that joy of hey, how are you? You know. And also the other thing that I came across yesterday was that we never really know from any conversation, something could be said that will change our life in some way, shape, or form. And if I go into it with that closed off, judgmental kind of thought, you know, that mundane small talk, it's never going to develop into that. Well, I mean, it could. I don't want to say never, but the other way kind of encourages and pulls out different things that might become valid and valuable. But you know, I guess in some ways it's kind of like a work of art. A conversation could be a work of art, and you know, become an artist of conversation, and open that wealth of humanity, and open that wealth of relationships. And I never really realized how important relationships are. It really is a valid and valuable thing in this world, and it's something that I've kind of shunned. And no wonder I am where I am. No wonder I'm in this reality that I've created. That's a big thing for me to overcome. I've been very closed off, been very judgmental, and it's time to take a step back and look at everybody as an old friend, and open up meaningful small talk, and see what kind of art it creates in this world. So, it's day 259. Hey, what are you doing today? Thanks.